everyone. You're watching KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Anthony Mocklin, and today we have a very special guest today. We have Josh Gates of Discovery Channel, and here with us also is Marissa Diaz of our digital team. How are you doing
Hi,
today?
everybody. I'm super excited. I think I'm like the biggest fan, maybe. I don't know. I love Josh Gates. He's like Indiana, like the modern Indiana Jones, but I secretly want to be his sidekick so I can go and explore all the things with him. Not sure how my family would feel about that, but I'm all about it. But I'm so excited. I actually cannot believe he's coming to Shreveport, and I know he's doing a whole tour. He's doing like Louisiana, Texas, and Florida. So, and he's got a very tight schedule, but we also have some other exciting news to share with everybody that he's going to probably tell us about.
And let's bring him in right now. Welcome, Josh.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I'm doing really great.
So, Josh, I'm probably one of your biggest fans, and I've seen probably majority of your episodes. And I actually, it's crazy because you went to Tufts University, and I actually went to Tufts University to see if I wanted to go to school there, but I actually ended up at NYU. So how does the modern Indiana Jones, I mean, like you've been on, like how did you even get started?
You know, kind of by accident, I guess. I always had a love for Indiana Jones, for adventure, for the Goonies. I grew up in the 80s, right? So I was a child of all those, great 80s action comedy movies. And I always loved that stuff. I mean, I love Back to the Future and all that stuff. And so I always had a real interest in adventure. And my dad, who's retired now, had this very adventurous career as a deep sea diver. So he was always coming back from, exotic ports of call overseas. And I think as a kid from an early age, I just felt that I wanted to have my own adventures and my own explorations of the world. And I got really lucky to be able to do that. I went to school for archaeology. I was going to become an archaeologist. And then I kind of fell into this whole TV world, and the rest is history.
Well, I've followed your sort of career path, back when you were on Sci-Fi, and I was reading about all of the ratings and how the ratings were like off the chart. And now you're entering, like you started like 2007. I mean, back then.
We did 5 seasons of my first series, Destination Truth, over on Sci-Fi, and we did that for about 5 seasons. And we are now over at Discovery Channel. We are just wrapping up 10 years of making Expedition Unknown. So it's been a long journey here.
Expedition Unknown, but also too, tell us what just happened.
Well, yes, we had a big weekend. We won an Emmy this weekend. So
Woo!
Yeah, we were very thrilled to be nominated this year for Best Travel Adventure Program, and we took home the trophy. And so we had a very, very exciting weekend. We're all paying for it now still. But it was an amazing time.
Now, aside from the Emmy, I know, you just said that was a huge win for y'all, and y'all had a huge celebration and everything. Is there anything else, I guess, aside from that has been the most rewarding part of your career and like what you've done?
I have to say, just the opportunity to go to the places that we travel to on the show. We go all over the world on Expedition Unknown, investigating mysteries and legends, and we are able to go to some incredible archaeological sites to work shoulder to shoulder with these amazing explorers. And so there are many times on the show where I just sort of pinch myself and say, this is unbelievable that we're here in this place. We have a new season coming up that starts airing in early November, and we're going to be doing a big 2-part special on the Great Pyramid of Giza. I spent weeks just crawling around inside the Great Pyramid, and just what a thrill to be able to not just visit these places but really explore them. So I think that's the most exciting part of it for me, is the access to these places.
I'm not gonna say a little. I'm very, very jelly of you. Just jelly. I literally wish I could be like a little lizard right here on your shoulder, like Pascal, like with Tangled, and just like be part of that, because I love, like, fascinated with Egypt. Like wanted to learn how to speak Arabic. Like, just how do you even, and you get to explore it. So I'm high key very jealous. So you're coming to Shreveport, you're doing this like tour in Louisiana and Texas and in Florida. So what you're coming to the Strand in 2 days. Good luck coming from LA to the next LA on little sleep. But what does the show entail? I'm really excited that you're coming. I'm excited that you're going to bring a bit of history and sort of this knowledge, this world knowledge. What can people expect on that day?
Yeah, well, for folks who don't know, I do a live speaking tour, and I have to kind of fit those in between our travels on Expedition Unknown. And so this week, I'm coming to Louisiana. We're also going to be in Texas and in Florida. We're going to be in Shreveport Wednesday night, the 22nd, and it's going to be an awesome evening. It's going to be stories of adventure and legends and mysteries and things that go bump in the night because it's almost Halloween. So if you're a fan of the show, it's an opportunity to hear behind the scenes stories, to learn more about some of the stories from the show. And if you're not, if you're someone who's just finding the show, it is an awesome evening of adventure. And so it's a great night to come out and hear some thrilling tales. And it's a super fun evening. So I hope folks will check it out.
And tickets are still on sale. Just
Tickets
FYI
are still
on the
sale. You
Strand.
can go to my website, which is joshgates.com, or you can go to the theater website at Shreveport Municipal Auditorium there, and you can get tickets there as well.
And you mentioned you have a new season coming out November 5th with the 2-part special on the Great Pyramid, and you said that this season is full of just things that you dreamed about doing as a kid and just the adventures that you go on. Can you give us a little bit of like a sneak peek of other things that people can expect?
We're going to be doing an episode with my good buddy Parker Schnabel from Gold Rush. We're going to be going up to some very wet, rainy Northern California gold rush territory, and we're going to be looking for lost gold that was stolen in a stagecoach robbery. So this is like your classic, there's golden treasure out there somewhere in the Wild West kind of story. And it is the 40th anniversary of The Goonies, one of the greatest movies of all time. And so we're doing an awesome show on The Goonies. I didn't know this when I was growing up, but the story of the Goonies is based actually on a real event, which is that there was an actual Spanish galleon that wrecked off the Oregon coast, and that's not just some myth. That's a real thing that happened. It's a verified event, and there was treasure aboard this Spanish galleon, and so we're going to be doing the real Goonies and searching for the real treasure that helped inspire the film.
That is really, really awesome. I know we're really excited to see all that, especially for us.
So excited. I don't know. So when you're traveling all of these different lands and you have to eat food, obviously, what has been, different cultures, what has been one of your maybe favorite meals and places to visit? Because you've been everywhere. What has been like, man, I really want to go back there and eat this?
Well, I mean, if we're just talking globally, who's winning the cuisine wars, I think I could die pretty fat and happy in Italy. I mean, the Italians have it figured out. So any meal in Italy, like a bad meal in Italy is a good meal anywhere else, So I love the cuisine there. I love Southeast Asia, so I could eat my way through places like Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia. Love that part of the world. And I have to say, in terms of the food, I do think fortune favors the bold. You have to kind of try the local dishes and follow the locals' advice. We've eaten a lot of challenging food on the show as well. I've definitely got a list of things I don't need to try again. Had every fried, creepy, crawly, weird thing in the world at this point. But I would say, Southeast Asia, Italy, those are my food pockets there.
That's I would agree with those categories of food. I would definitely agree. So being an explorer, I mean, I always we watch the show with our kids, right? And you bring, adventure / history / knowledge. You are actually influencing younger generations to actually be interested in history and, sense of adventure. For our kids, I have a 15-year-old and 11-year-old, and they love you, number one, shout out. But they also learn a lot on your show. So it's a very educational piece. What are you hoping to pass on to maybe generations to come? Because, I'm hoping that your show will last for like another 20 years. But
Right.
what are your hopes in passing this sort of, firsthand knowledge, experience, historical or architectural? Like, what do you hope that when people watch your show?
I think at a base level, and you kind of hinted at it, it is about a sense of adventure, a sense of curiosity about the world, about the unknown, about different cultures. I think at our core, our secret hope is that we'll get viewers and especially kids interested in a part of the world or a part of history that they don't know anything about, and that is really intriguing, right? And so the show, I mean, I'm fortunate because the show has these great natural hooks, right? Like lost treasure, vanished cities, vanished airplanes. I mean, these are stories that are compelling, right? They have like, you're naturally hooked by these stories. We all are. And so I think what's really important for us is that, like, I hate to sound like an old man, kids today, but like, this is kind of, I think, the first generation who really see the world as fully mapped because of these miraculous phones that we all carry around. It just sort of seems like all human knowledge and all maps you would ever need are right at your fingertips. And kids are kind of amazed when they hear me say that there are places in the world that are uncharted. There are jungles that have never been explored. There are parts of Antarctica or mountain ranges that people have never stood on. And so I think that sense of wonder of understanding there are mysteries out there still is hugely important because I think we are sometimes in danger in this digital connected world of just kind of being down on our devices all the time. And so I think just encouraging people to want to get out there and have an adventure, that's kind of the start of all of it.
Yeah, and to speak to your point, like I felt the same way because I'm kind of guilty of doing that too, or not exploring my surroundings and doing that. And I went, hiking in Hot Springs National Park like a few months back, and like it was so beautiful, just like seeing just how wonderful the world is, and just getting out there, like you said, and just experiencing that for yourself because that really is something that you could take with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and you appreciate,
Totally.
other people's culture and land and trying to save the planet or whatever the case may be. But yeah, you have this sort of sense of appreciation for others when you go and get to travel and visit the
Totally,
Yeah.
world.
and it also gives you I always say that like when you travel the world, it exposes you to all sorts of other people, other cultures, gets you out of your comfort zone. Traveling can be scary. It can be, yeah, you're in a place where you're not really on sure footing of where you are. You have to figure all that out, which can be really challenging. But that's when really good things happen because that's when you learn, that's when you grow, and when you come back from those kind of trips, whether it's a hiking weekend or a trip around the world, you kind of come back to your regular life a little differently, and you look at it differently. I come back to my life every time I travel overseas and look at my life here and kind of from the outside, for a minute, and that's hugely important too. It gives you more context about your own life. So yeah, I think travel and having an adventure is hugely important. And people always say to me, how do I have an adventure? And I always say, adventure is easy. It's cheap, right? That's why it's adventure. It's 0 stars. You just gotta, get out of your car and take a hike into the mountains. Take a trip. Even a road trip to a town or a place you've never been to before, and just explore on foot. Adventure is kind of everywhere. You just have to, kind of be willing to get out there and go look for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to just go somewhere you're familiar with and just stay in your comfort zone. Like you were saying, it's one thing to take that first step and make an effort to leave that comfort zone and just see things you've never even seen before. Which I really, it's awesome seeing you get to do that pretty much everywhere in the world. Like it's been a really awesome journey.
So I wanted to ask. I know you have a partake in the show, and you've done some executive producing. And I know you have a safety crew, and you guys are very careful. But behind the scenes, has there ever been a point where you are like in the cave or diving that you were like, uh oh, like Help! 911, please help me. Like, I don't know if this is even safe for any of us to be here, cameramen, producers, myself. Can you share with us or like an adventure that you may have had or an expedition that was like questionable?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the really challenging things about making the show is we want it to be safe. We want it to be, we want everybody to come home with 10 fingers and 10 toes, right? But the very nature of the show is uncontrolled, right? You're going out into an uncontrolled world, often in very wild environments. So we take precautions, but it is hard to kind of future cast, the natural world. So we have definitely been in some places where things have gotten a little hairy. We've had temple ceilings collapse on us. We have been deep in the jungles and had very close calls with wildlife, with snakes, things like that. We've had a few folks stitched up in the backcountry with the occasional fall, the occasional scrape and bruise and bump and all that. I mean, we've had a couple of major incidents over the years. We were going to do a big special with Ocean Gate on their Titan submarine, and we went and took a ride in Titan at their headquarters in Everett prior to going out into the North Atlantic. And that was a trip where we were so kind of unconvinced by the technology of the sub by the end of our weekend up there that we backed out of that project. And so that was one of those instances where you do kind of have to listen to that spidey sense, that tells you, hey, maybe this isn't safe.
Yeah, that was a good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Listen to your spidey sense. Don't do it. Don't do
Always
it.
listen to your spidey sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything that else that you wanted to touch on that we didn't ask you today that you want to?
No, I mean, look, we are really coming off of a very exciting weekend. We're all of us that make Expedition Unknown are really thrilled at the Emmy recognition for the show, and we are, I'm setting off on this speaking tour this week, and we've got a new season coming out right after that. So it's a great time. If you're a fan of the show, there's lots of good things happening. If you're a new fan of the show, you're going to love this season. It's really great. And if folks are in the Shreveport area Wednesday night, they should absolutely come by and hang out for an evening of adventure. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah. First, get it from the person that gets to go around the world. Hear it firsthand from all the adventures. He's been doing it for a hot minute, hot minute.
Right.
How do you feel? One last question. How do you feel when people compare you to the modern day Indiana Jones, or your last name just happens to be Gates, which just happens to be like the show, the Hidden Treasures, like you just happen to have that connection. So how do you feel when people are like, "Dang, he is Indiana Jones"?
Well, I mean, flattered is the short answer. I'm not sure I can live up to Dr. Jones's fedora, but I will say that, like, look, as a kid, Raiders, but all of those movies, really, really had an impact on me and gave me this, as it did for so many millions of people, this thirst for adventure. And when you meet archaeologists today that are of a certain age, it's absolutely Raiders of the Lost Ark that inspired them to become archaeologists. And for older archaeologists, it was something before that. It was Alan Quatermain or the pulp adventure novels about exotic parts of the world. So I'm not sure I'm Indiana Jones, but if I can kind of wear the mantle a little bit, and some kid who's watching today ends up getting inspired to go into a life of exploration, well, that's just about the greatest thing ever. So I'll certainly take the comparison and do my best to live up to it.
That's right. Indy, modern day Indy. Well, I'm a huge fan. My family's a huge fan. You've taught my kids a lot of things, so thank you very much. We will be watching the next season. I will make sure that they watch too, because again, it's entertaining, but yet it's educational, which is really great combination, especially for the younger ages.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Many great adventures to come. So, and again, folks can go to joshgates.com. Lots of info about the speaking tour on there and about the new season as well.
Congrats on your Emmy. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And don't miss this Wednesday, October 22nd at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium at 7:30. You can get your tickets now. Can you remind our viewers where they can get them and what they can
Yep.
expect?
They can go to joshgates.com. There's a link in there. They can also go to the auditorium's main website, which I think might be shreveportmunicipalauditorium.com, but that's a lot of letters to type. So joshgates.com will get you there.
Yes.
Awesome. We can't wait to see it.
Yes. Anything else, Josh?
No, that's all. Great talking to both of you. Thanks
You
for having me.
too. Take care and welcome to the next Louisiana, the next LA, going from LA to LA. So welcome to
excited about it.
Louisiana.
I'm excited. We'll see you soon. All the best, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
And if you haven't yet, be sure to visit KTALnews.com to see more stories like Josh's and events that are coming up in the area. You can follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything on our socials. And you can find all of our previous episodes of KTAL News Now on our website at KTALnews.com, which streams every day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. So be sure to tune in every single day. And thank you from myself and Marissa
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time.